are just 72 hours, 3 days away from Survivor Series, and tonight we are live inside the Xfinity Mobile Arena in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania for Thursday Night SmackDown. And headlining tonight's affairs, an opportunity to challenge Austin Theory for the United States Championship 2 weeks from tonight on the last SmackDown of 2025. As you see, AJ Styles at the front of the lineup in this six-man gauntlet matchup that goes down later tonight in Philly. But we want to take you back to last week on SmackDown. The phenomenal AJ Styles issuing an open challenge that was momentarily accepted by the King of Strong Style, Shinsuke Nakamura. Return to action for the first time since earlier this year. Nakamura and Styles putting each other through the ringer. AJ Styles was victorious. A sign of respect showed after the matchup. Now, we spoke to AJ Styles earlier today, who said as much as he understands that tonight could be a huge opportunity to challenge for the United States title, he has one goal in mind, and that's the World Heavyweight Championship. After running it through management and after getting it approved by Shinsuke Nakamura as well, Nakamura is replacing AJ Styles in tonight's gauntlet match at the wishes of AJ. AJ wants the World Heavyweight title. Nakamura now gets an opportunity in the six-man gauntlet matchup that goes down later tonight in Philadelphia. And we are on the road to Survivor Series this Sunday night in New York City, where a traditional Survivor Series elimination matchup awaits these women. And a chance to build some momentum ahead of Madison Square Garden is on hand right here, right now on SmackDown.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring, accompanied by Kairi Sane, representing the Kabuki Warriors from Osaka, Japan.
It is coming up live at 5 p.m. Eastern Time this Sunday night. The traditional Survivor Series elimination matchup. Team EO, consisting of the Women's World Champion EO Sky, Julia, Asuka, and Kairi Sane, taking on Team Raquel. Team Captain Raquel Rodriguez, the United States Champion Liv Morgan, and the Women's Tag Team Champions Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. An all-star field consisting of talent from SmackDown and Raw in that traditional Survivor Series elimination matchup. Asuka and Kairi Sane have made their presence felt. They want one thing and one thing only, and that's an opportunity at the women's tag team titles tonight, as well as Sunday, a chance to prove their worth as future challengers. Well, Monday Night Raw talent makes the truck to Thursdays as one half of the women's tag team champions, the man, Becky Lynch, reignites an age-old rivalry against the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka. High stakes, high reward to kick things off from Philadelphia.
And her opponent from Dublin, Ireland, one half of the women's tag team champions, the man,
Well, Asuka and Becky Lynch know each other very well. 2 years ago, 2023, they had a series of bouts, one of those taking place at WrestleMania over the WWE Women's Championship. A great rivalry of years past, reignited in recent times as Asuka and Kairi Sane want a shot at the gold that they once held. Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair currently sitting at the top of the division. Well, Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair, of course, Monday Night Raw superstars, but the gateway to SmackDown open with those women's tag team championships. Hence the reason we say that traditional Survivor Series matchup on Sunday, bit of an interpromotional affair as the tag team champions are part of the fray. Becky Lynch and Asuka kicking things off tonight, and I still cannot believe Shinsuke Nakamura going to be taking AJ Styles' place in tonight's gauntlet matchup. AJ Styles, as much as he has admiration for the United States Championship, it's a title he once held, has one goal in mind, and that's getting back the World Heavyweight Championship that he held for mere minutes back in the summer at SummerSlam. Meanwhile, you look at Kairi Sane up in the apron getting in an argument with the man Becky Lynch. Hey, Asuka and Kairi Sane, no strangers to bending the rules a little bit if you go back and check the tape. Well, Asuka taking this moment to take her time, sneak up behind the man, Becky Lynch, and now dropping her Right to the pinfall goes the Empress. Asuka looking for the quick victory en route to Survivor Series on Sunday, but Becky Lynch still alive. Nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, that Gauntlet matchup that headlines later tonight. AJ Styles going to have a keen interest, on what is to come on Sunday, with the World Heavyweight Championship being on the line at Survivor Series. But later tonight, it's Shinsuke Nakamura, Javon Evans, Wes Lee, Trick Williams, Ilja Dragunov, and Aleister Black, who will be competing in that Gauntlet to determine Austin Theory's next challenger for the United States Championship. Right now, the eyes of the world are on the man, Becky Lynch, and the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka. This one all about Survivor Series, all about the Women's Tag Team Championships. Who's going to get the momentum on their side? I'll tell you, Asuka and Kairi Sane picked up a victory last week here on SmackDown against Bayley and Naomi. Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair, of course, making their presence felt after the matchup, returning the favor from the Kabuki Warriors a couple of weeks ago. That confrontation up the top of the stage. As much as Asuka and Kairi Sane are former champions and have made their intentions known that they want a shot at the gold, they got to get the job done where it matters most. Nights like tonight, Asuka falls short to Becky Lynch, and heaven forbid it happens again on Sunday. I think the Kabuki Warriors can kiss a future championship opportunity goodbye, at least for now. Must-win situation in a sense for the Empress tonight. Asuka and Becky Lynch know each other well. They've gone to battle before, doing so again in the middle of Philadelphia. Right across the street, Lincoln Financial Field, home of the Philadelphia Eagles, the home of WrestleMania earlier this year. With a woman at ringside, Kairi Sane became the inaugural Women's United States Champion. We see Asuka getting a little bit of a screaming match with Charlotte Flair, and Becky Lynch gonna make her pay. Eye for an eye here between champion and potential future challenger. All four of these women gonna be in action come Sunday, New York City, Madison Square Garden, live at 5 p.m. Eastern Time for the Fall Classic, one of my personal favorite events of the year, Survivor Series. Asuka on the outside now, and all of a sudden, Asuka's momentum in this matchup has been forwarded by Becky Lynch, who is now on the apron. Big boot. And Asuka gonna catch her that time. Shot right to the abdominal, catching the man at ringside. And now looking to bring this fight back inside of the ring. Asuka looking for a definitive victory tonight, en route to try to challenge for the tag team titles in the near future. And now she's got Becky all kinds of tied up in the ropes. And now, the Empress perched on top. Becky may be in the drop zone, and crossbody delivers. Into the cover goes Asuka, and this one gonna progress here in Philly. Oh, hey, whoa, hang on here. Well, I believe that's up by the stage. Raquel Rodriguez and Julia going at it. Well, those two women came to blows last week on SmackDown. Raquel Rodriguez, who is obviously going to be leading her team at Survivor Series. Julie going to be representing the opposers. Well, I don't know who started this fight. Clearly must have been started in the backstage area here and has spilled out to the Xfinity Mobile Arena. Raquel with the clothesline to Julia out on that concrete up by the stage. Meanwhile, back inside of the ring, Becky Lynch locking Asuka in the disarmer. Well, both of these women with submissions up their sleeve. Becky looking to put Asuka away with her definitive one here tonight. Asuka trapped at the given moment, able to get out of it, shoving Becky Lynch off of her arm. Asuka now trying to fight back, but obviously damage has been done, and Becky Lynch, although might not have gotten the victory with that submission hold, clearly did a number on the Empress of Tomorrow. Into the Fisherman Buster. Right into the bridge. Becky looking for the victory, and again, Asuka gonna survive. Becky Lynch, rare appearance on SmackDown tonight for herself and Charlotte Flair. Looking for the victory ahead of Team Raquel versus Team Io at Survivor Series. Raquel Rodriguez taking the fight to Julia moments ago. Meanwhile, inside of the ring, it's Asuka, who's just looking to rally in the middle of the city of brotherly love. Little springboard by Asuka takes Becky off her feet. And now, I don't think she's done. Running hip attack by Asuka. A signature out of the arsenal on the Empress. And oh, wait a minute. Oh, well, Becky Lynch did kick out, ladies and gentlemen. The matchup progresses inside of the ring, but now, on the other side of the stage, you got the United States Champion Liv Morgan and Io Sky going at it. Well, the brawls are ensuing here in Philadelphia. Tensions riding high ahead of Survivor Series. Well, the team captains and some of their team opponents, there's still action going on inside of the ring. A lot to keep up with, ladies and gentlemen. Asuka being distracted by Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch coming from behind. Well, hold on here. I think referee Jessica Carr trying to regain some order and has tossed the Queen away. Well, one half of the tag team champions and Charlotte Flair being banished from ringside. Asuka now taking advantage of the distraction. Becky Lynch had a few choice words for our referee tonight. Meanwhile, Asuka taking advantage of the situation. Becky Lynch, for a moment, being knocked for a loop, able to knock, I should say able to block that palm strike by the Empress. Becky Lynch not looking to allow Charlotte Flair being banished from ringside to throw her off her game plan, but Asuka is absolutely unloading. Fights here, fights there, fights everywhere here on SmackDown. Becky Lynch stuck between a rock and a hard place. Asuka now grabbing a hold, tying her up. Asuka locked in. Dead center of the ring, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. The man in trouble. And Becky Lynch tapping out to the Empress. Well, chaos certainly afoot here tonight on SmackDown ahead of Survivor Series. With the Empress of Tomorrow getting her hand raised via submission on the man Becky Lynch. It all leads to Survivor Series in New York City, Madison Square Garden on Sunday night. 4-on-4 as Team Io battles Team Raquel. What a war it is gonna be. The battlefield will be set live. WWE returns to the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden, in the city that never sleeps, New York City. It's the Fall Classic, where dream teams assemble, fueled by pride, vengeance, and the hunger to dominate. Alliances will be tested. Rivalries will square off, and the best of the best will collide to determine who will be the sole survivors. On one of the most important nights of the WWE calendar, only the strongest will survive. Presented by Noah Nation Gaming channel memberships, history will be made at the 2025 Survivor Series. We want to take you back to last week on SmackDown. The Juggernaut Jordynne Grace one-on-one with SmackDown's newest acquisition in Lola Vice. Big-time victory for Grace, but the action did not stop after the bell as Jordynne Grace was out to send a message on the behalf of Lola Vice. Jordynne Grace hungry for opportunity, and whether you like her antics or not, she certainly made some noise last week on SmackDown. Well, one person who didn't take too kindly to that post-match stomping was one Lola Vice, who has now challenged the Juggernaut to a return bout next Thursday night. Jordynne Grace there to oblige. Jordynne Grace, Lola Vice running it back next Thursday night on SmackDown. Also next week on SmackDown, live from Providence as advertised, the #1 Contenders tournament for the WWE Tag Team titles currently held by Drew McIntyre and Sheamus will begin. 8 teams given an opportunity. The last team standing will gain a future opportunity at McIntyre and Sheamus. Let us take a look at the bracket for this #1 Contenders tournament. Pretty deadly. The Usos, Fraxium, LWO, Motor City Machine Guns, The Judgment Day, New Catch Republic, and a mystery team. 8 teams going to step up over the next couple of weeks. The last team standing will go 2v2 against McIntyre and Sheamus for the WWE Tag Team titles. Well, speaking of the LWO, Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio going to be taking on some old enemies in Fraxium in the next couple of weeks on SmackDown. But speaking of Dragon Lee, he is live and in living color here in Philadelphia, and he is looking to get some momentum, we shall say, on the LWO side, not only ahead of the #1 Contenders tournament, but also what is ahead for Rey Mysterio come Sunday night. It is Sunday night in New York City, where the Judgment Day's Dirty Dominik Mysterio looks to make history, as he called it, by defeating his Hall of Fame father and becoming a 3-time Cruiserweight Champion of the world. Will that happen? All remains to be seen in MSG.
And his opponent, representing the Judgment Day, from San Diego, California, weighing in at 200 pounds, Dirty Dominik Mysterio.
Well, Dominik Mysterio may be feeling confident. The challenge was thrown out by his father, Dirty Dom, accepting. It is 2 out of 3 falls at Survivor Series as Dominik Mysterio challenges Rey Mysterio for the Cruiserweight Championship of the world in Madison Square Garden. Dominik Mysterio, as he mentioned last week, has won the Cruiserweight Championship in a 2 out of 3 falls match before, defeated Javon Evans all the way back in July on the Money in the Bank kickoff show in those same affairs. But Rey Mysterio said last week that Dominik has defeated Rey once, Rey's defeated Dom. Let's see who can do it twice in one night. We're going to find out who truly is the better of the Mysterios. Will Dominik Mysterio become a 3-time champion? Or will Rey finally knock some sense into his son? All remains to be seen at Survivor Series. Well, ahead of Madison Square Garden, Dominik Mysterio set to go one-on-one with another LWO representative in Dragon Lee, the man that'll team up with Rey in the coming weeks in the midst of the #1 Contenders tournament for the WWE Tag Team titles. Well, Dominik Mysterio and Dragon Lee with some history between each other themselves. As a matter of fact, it was right here in the Xfinity Mobile Arena, right here in Philadelphia, all the way back in March on the final SmackDown before this year's WrestleMania, that Dragon Lee had pinned Dominik Mysterio in a 6-man tag team matchup. Here they are again on the same soil. Dragon Lee, Dominik Mysterio, one-on-one tonight. Certainly, Rey Mysterio's momentum for Survivor Series could be riding on the shoulders of his tag team partner in Dragon Lee, who of course was there by his side when the LWO defeated the Judgment Day in tag team action a couple of weeks ago as well. But Dominik Mysterio, I'm sure, out to make an example out of Dragon Lee tonight. Dragon, a man who Rey once called the future of Lucha Libre. I bet Dirty Dom feels some type of way about that sentiment. And nevertheless, Dominik Mysterio misses wildly off the uppercut. Dragon Lee had it scouted. Looking to bring the fight to the 2-time Cruiserweight Champion, who's out to become a 3-time champion on Sunday night. Dragon Lee looking to get under the skin, get in the psyche of Dominik Mysterio. Look at the speed, look at the momentum. Quicker than a hiccup inside of that ring. Dragon Lee taking Dom off his feet. This is a man who made his SmackDown debut last year, night 1, winning the WWE Tag Team titles alongside Dominik's father, Rey. Dragon Lee, an incredible talent, out for victory tonight. Springboard, drop kick, into the lateral. Dirty Dom still alive. Well, you saw in the bracket moments ago, Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio going to be contested Axiom and Nathan Frazier in the first round of the #1 Contenders tournament for the tag team titles in the coming weeks. Dominik's brethren in the Judgment Day. Wait a minute, hold that thought. Reversal into the crucifix pin by Lee. Dirty Dom able to pop the shoulder. But Judgment Day, Carlito, JD McDonough, they got Motor City Machine Guns coming up on SmackDown in the #1 Contenders tournament soon enough. Right now, it is Dragon Lee taking the fight to Dirty Dominik Mysterio, who, especially after his loss at Bad Blood a couple of weeks ago, is not looking to see defeat once more. Against Dragon Lee, just snatches him out of midair. Big powerbomb, big reversal by Dirty Dom. Dominik Mysterio leveraged an exposed turnbuckle to defeat his father a month and change ago here on SmackDown. Rey Mysterio hit Dominik Mysterio where it hurt, gave him a taste of his own medicine, did the same to Dom back at Bad Blood It's certainly something that assisted him in winning the Cruiserweight Championship for the 10th time in his Hall of Fame career. Well, the father and son dynamic, 1 win apiece over each other. 2 out of 3 falls on Sunday. Who knows who's going to be leaving New York City as Cruiserweight Champion of the world? If Dominik Mysterio has anything to say about it, he will steamroll Dragon Lee tonight. He will get those 2 most important victories over Rey on Sunday, and he will be standing tall as what he calls himself, the King of the Luchadors, as a 3-time Cruiserweight Champion. And down goes Dragon Lee. Both of those reigns came and went in this calendar year. First at WrestleMania right across the street in Lincoln Financial Field. WrestleMania Sunday, where Dominik Mysterio defeated Wesley to win the title. Lost the title to Javon Evans in the summer, won it back from Evans a couple of weeks later. Held the title all the way to Bad Blood, where Rey Mysterio took it away. Meanwhile, on the outskirts right now, Dragon Lee sending Dom back inside the ring. And as we mentioned moments ago, Dragon looking to repeat history and once again pin the shoulders of Dirty Dom right here in Philadelphia. Tornado DDT for the apron into the ring, into the shooting star press. And Dominik Mysterio able to kick, but ever impressive is Dragon Lee. The man who once held Tag Team Championship gold with Dominik's father, Rey. Dragon looking for the victory tonight, looking to set the pedestal for what is to come on Sunday, in hopes that Rey will be able to finish the job and knock some respect into his son. Dominik Mysterio now hoisted on top. You gotta imagine Dragon Lee has only got disaster in mind. Going to meet him up there. What a Hurricane Rana! Dominik Mysterio down and out. Philadelphia on their feet, and there's the discus knee by Dragon. Another kick out by Mysterio. Dragon Lee doing all he can to bring the fight to the #1 contender towards the Cruiserweight Championship, but Dominik Mysterio, like him or not, is showing you exactly why he has held that gold in the past. Dominik Mysterio, a man who at times you gotta give the devil his due. And look at this, into the Code Red! Pinning scenario by Dom. Dragon shoulders on the mat, only 1. Former 2-time Cruiserweight Champion, former Intercontinental Champion during his time on Raw. Voted by you, the fans, the breakout superstar of 2024. Dominik Mysterio, like his attitude or not, like his association with the Judgment Day or not, a man who year after year, continues to add to his repertoire, continues to add to his accolades. Now on the outside, Dragon Lee, his head being bonked off the announce table, about the last thing he needs. Dominik Mysterio back inside of the ring goes Dragon Lee. Whatever Dom's got in mind, you gotta imagine it could be the end of Dragon Lee's pursuit of victory tonight. Neckbreaker right on the knee. Sometimes there's nothing fancy about Dominik Mysterio and what he implores inside of that ring. It is all and effective. Dominik just in search of... Oh, wait a minute here. Well, I think we got a little company. The Cruiserweight Champion, Rey Mysterio, walking down the aisle here at Xfinity Mobile Arena. Well, getting into a war of words just as it was last week with his son, Dirty Dom. Dragon Lee here to take advantage. And the paraboots right to the chest cavity. Dominik Mysterio's eye getting taken off the ball. Dragon Lee now looking to once again defeat Dirty Dom in the city of Philadelphia. Operation Dragon. Big time victory for Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee upsetting Dominik Mysterio tonight, ahead of Dirty Dom's chance to win back gold on Sunday. That is about the last thing Mysterio is hoping for here tonight on SmackDown. Well, a little assistance by his mentor, Rey Mysterio. Big victory for Dragon Lee. But speaking of Survivor Series, the World Heavyweight Championship will be on the line in triple threat action come Sunday. And the man who is bringing the title to his home soil in New York City, Damian Priest, is live in Philadelphia, up next on SmackDown. Can't get enough universe mode? PLE kickoff shows, live events, all exclusive to Noah Nation Gaming channel members. Hit the join button down below and gain access to more universe than ever before. We are back live in Philadelphia. And the heavyweight champion of the world, the Punishment, Damian Priest, is on the scene. And we are just 72 hours, 3 days away from a homecoming for El Campeon in New York City. Just a few short weeks removed from winning that championship. Inside Hell in a Cell, Damian Priest is willingly throwing himself straight into the deep end. It is coming up Sunday night at Survivor Series, a triple threat matchup thrown out by the Punishment. Damian Priest defends the World Heavyweight Gold against Big Bronson Reed and the megastar LA Knight. SmackDown's main event in the world's most famous arena of Madison Square Garden. Gonna be off the charts 3 nights from now. But ahead of Survivor Series, Damian Priest out here to give his challengers a piece of his mind. And you gotta wonder what's going through Priest's mind, being back in the city of Philadelphia, the site of the last Judgment Day outing for Damian Priest and Finn Balor as tag team partners. Well, a lot has changed since the month of March. Damian Priest and Finn Balor have gone to war with each other. Priest has sent Balor straight to hell, and now Damian is on top of the world as heavyweight champion. But is his time running out? Are we just 3 nights away from the fall of Damian Priest? Well, an impassionate Damian Priest sending a message to his challengers ahead of Survivor. Oh, wait a minute. Speaking of the challengers, the All-Zilla has hopped the guardrail. Big Bronson Reed is in the ring. Well, 2 weeks ago, Bronson Reed left Damian Priest laying with a tsunami. Last week, it was LA Knight who dropped both of these men with blunt force traumas. Well, Big Bronson Reed once again taking the fight to Damian Priest when Damian least expected it. A sneak attack by the Auszilla, and all of a sudden, a rally call from Damian has left him looking up at the lights. Tsunami by Bronson Reed. Well, Damian Priest sent a message, but Bronson Reed just sent a louder one, sending the champion out of the ring. And in a moment's notice, the only man left on his feet is the Auszilla. Well, Bronson Reed has been targeting the World Championship. Oh, well, wait, we're not done just yet. We got more company. The other challenger for Survivor Series, the megastar, LA Knight, out on the stage. Bronson Reed making his way up the aisle. LA Knight calling him out. These two men with a bone to pick with one another. I think we're gonna need more than Charles Robinson to keep these two heavyweights apart. Bronson Reed throwing a haymaker. LA Knight throwing one back. And here we go. LA Knight, Bronson Reed coming to blows. Oh, this chaos ahead of the triple threat matchup for the World Heavyweight title on Sunday. Well, remains to be seen who will be leaving New York City as champion, but who is going to be leaving Philadelphia as the #1 contender for the United States Gold. We find out coming up next. 6 men, last man standing becomes #1 contender. The Gauntlet is live, and it's next. The battlefield will be set live. WWE returns to the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden, in the city that never sleeps, New York City. It's the Fall Classic, where dream teams assemble, fueled by pride, vengeance, and the hunger to dominate. Alliances will be tested, rivalries will square off, and the best of the best will collide to determine who will be the sole survivors. On one of the most important nights of the WWE calendar, only the strongest will survive. Presented by Nomination Gaming Channel memberships, history will be made at the 2025 Survivor Series. Well, we are just 3 nights away from the 2025 edition of the Fall Classic. Madison Square Garden in New York City plays host to the Survivor Series, which goes live at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. But of course, the action is going to begin 30 minutes prior for Nomination Gaming Channel members. Live on the Survivor Series kickoff show, the World Tag Team titles of Monday Night Raw set to be defended. Joe Gacy, Dexter Lumis of the Wyatt Six put the gold on the line against Tama Tonga and Tongaloa of the Bloodline. And it could be a banner evening for the Bloodline because, of course, headlining the Survivor Series affairs, The Rock, Roman Reigns, Jacob Fatu, and Solo Sikoa of the Bloodline battle Team Cena, John Cena, Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk. It's the 4-on-4 traditional Survivor Series elimination match. And that, of course, not the only one of that classic Survivor Series bout. It's Team Io versus Team Raquel. Io Sky, Asuka, Kairi Sane, and Julia battle Raquel Rodriguez, Liv Morgan, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte Flair. Gold written all over this matchup, but it's 4-on-4 traditional Survivor Series style on Sunday. And speaking of championship gold, the ruler, Obafemi, out to capture his first gold, a part of Monday Night Raw. Standing in his way is Imperium's defender, Ludwig Kaiser, Intercontinental Championship on the line in New York City. Remains to be seen the condition of the Nightmare Rhea Ripley after the attacks by Roxanne Perez in recent weeks. But what we do know is the Nightmare is clear to go. She will be in New York City, and she hopes to get back the WWE Women's Championship that Perez took away at Bad Blood. And And speaking of bad blood, look no further than the friends turned enemies. Kevin Owens stabbing Sami Zayn in the back. Sami Zayn out for revenge. Owens out to cut Zayn out of his life once and for all. Owens and Zayn go to war in New York City. Dominik Mysterio's got a chance to turn things around on Sunday. Rey Mysterio looking to finally teach his son a lesson in respect. 2 out of 3 falls. The Cruiserweight Championship of the World is on the line between father and son. And you saw the chaos erupt moments ago. It's the SmackDown main event in New York City. The Heavyweight Championship of the World is on the line as the Punishment Damian Priest defends his newly won gold against the megastar LA Knight and the Oscilla Big Bronson Reed. All that action going down live this Sunday at Survivor Series.
The following is a Gauntlet match. The rules of the match are as follows. 2 superstars will start in the ring. When one superstar is eliminated, a new superstar enters. Eliminations can occur by pinfall, submission, or disqualification. The match continues until one superstar remains, and that superstar will be declared the winner.
Well, before a bell sounds in New York City on Sunday, we got a couple of more to go tonight. It's one matchup, really with the combination of about 5 of them in the middle. It's a gauntlet match. 6 men enter, 1 man leaves. Number 1 contender. And Aleister Black drawing the unfortunate position of the first entrant of 6 in this gauntlet. This is a man who just recently returned to WWE a couple of months ago. And in just a handful of matches on SmackDown has made his presence felt and has put himself in United States Championship conversations. Well, it was only a few short weeks ago that Aleister Black went one-on-one with Austin Theory for the United States Championship. Trick Williams actually arrived on the scene, tried to distract Austin Theory, their ever-growing rivalry there. Aleister Black nearly took advantage, but Austin Theory was able to slip a little pinfall in there right at the right moment and score the victory right out from underneath Aleister's nose. Well, Aleister Black, I'm sure, frustrated after that loss a number of weeks ago, but has got a chance to right that wrong here tonight. It'll not be an easy task. He is going to have to literally run the gauntlet here in Philadelphia. The winner of this matchup meets Austin Theory for the United States Championship 2 weeks from tonight on the final SmackDown of 2025, Christmas night here on the Blue Brand. Will it be Aleister Black, or will it be one of the 5 other individuals? That is the question we remain an answer to right here at Xfinity Mobile. Aleister Black draws number 1 in the gauntlet. Who will be number 2? Who's kicking off this fight with that dark and sinister destroyer? Oh, and it's the man we just mentioned a moment ago.
And from Columbia, South Carolina, weighing in at 205 pounds, Trick Williams.
Well, Trick Williams has got to feel right at home on Philadelphia soil. Once tried out for the Philadelphia Eagles, and of course right across the street in Lincoln Financial Field earlier this year in his WrestleMania debut, defeated Carmelo Hayes. Well, Trick Williams, for the better part of 2025, has been on the hunt for the United States Championship, has seen a couple of opportunities go haywire. Maybe another opportunity could be the charm. Well, you gotta wonder what's going through Aleister Black's head. I'm sure he didn't take too kindly to Trick making his presence felt in the midst of Black's chance to become the United States champion a few weeks ago. But either way you spin it, both of them find themselves in this opportune position here tonight. Aleister Black, number 1, Trick Williams, number 2. No matter who defeats the other, they're rolling right into another bout with still 4 more superstars to enter this number 1 Contenders Gauntlet affair. We're going to be in for a war of attrition in the middle of Philadelphia. This #1 Contenders bout is underway. Gotta imagine the champion Austin Theory keeping a close eye on 6 potential challengers. Some superstars he's met before, some he has not. 6 men gunning for that opportunity at the red, white, blue, and gold 2 weeks from tonight, Christmas night, on the final SmackDown of 2025. Aleister Black immediately taking the fight to Trick Williams. You gotta imagine the strategy here would be to get the job done as early as possible and try to preserve as much energy as you can for the matchups that could be to follow. Aleister Black, you see, no wasting motion. He's coming out guns a-blazing against Trick Williams here, trying to knock Trick senseless and hopefully score a quick victory and move on to his next bout. Aleister Black with that MMA background just unloading on Trick, with fists and kicks and a pair of knees that time. Going right into the lateral press, looking for the pinfall. I think if Trick Williams has shown anything in 2025 is that he is resilient. He knows how to fight. Even when you think he got Trick down, you can never count him out. Trick Williams has come this far before. He has been a part of Gauntlet matches in the past, where he has moved on from match after match. He has challenged for the United States title before. Trick Williams is hell-bent on gaining that gold at any means necessary. Trick now trying to get some offense in against Aleister Black as he sends Black into the corner. Aleister came out guns a-blaze, and Trick realizes he's going to have to match that energy if he wants to move past Aleister and move on to whoever is waiting behind the curtain to be the 3rd entrant in this Gauntlet match. Trick Williams, who recently challenged Austin Theory for the United States Championship as well a couple of months ago at Bash in Berlin in Germany. Great effort by Trick, but lo and behold, just wasn't enough. Austin Theory was the victor on that night. Trick Williams has been attacked by Austin Theory. Those 2 men have come to blows here on SmackDown. Obviously a brewing rivalry there, but Aleister Black doesn't give a damn about what Trick wants. All he gives a damn about is his own personal desires. Brain buster by Aleister. Trick able to pop the shoulder, but at what cost? Aleister Black unloading. Reversal and went right into a high-octane maneuver. Well, Trick might have kicked out, but you best believe he's about a second away from counting sheep. You better be ready to avoid the Black Mass at any and all costs, because if Aleister Black hits that oh-so-deadly maneuver, Trick Williams' United States Championship aspirations are going to go bye-bye. Aleister could be looking for another brain buster, or maybe a suplex. Trick able to go behind, and a belly-to-back suplex of his own. Great counter by Trick, but is he going to be able to follow up here, bringing Aleister Black back to his feet? Just the opening matchup in this Gauntlet. Big-time leg lariat by Trick. We said it while he was walking down the aisle. Trick Williams has found success in this city before. Can he do it again in the same calendar year as his WrestleMania debut right across the street at the Link? Aleister Black looking for that not to be the case. Reversal, and now several elbows out of the corner. Aleister Black, who has defeated Austin Theory in non-title action, has to feel like he was so close from taking away the United States Championship just a few short weeks ago. Aleister wants nothing more than to right that wrong. Forearm right off the middle rope. Aleister Black has got his eyes locked on a dazed Trick Williams here. Aleister picking his spots wisely, you could say. Not necessarily rushing into the offense. Allowing Trick to come to him. And there you can see the United States champion Austin Theory keeping a close eye on this Gauntlet matchup backstage here at Xfinity Mobile Arena. Meanwhile, Aleister Black dropping Trick Williams right on the hardest part of the ring. Trick dropped on the ring apron. Aleister Black like a shark that smells blood in the water. Trick Williams barely getting to his feet at ringside, and Aleister continues to be on the attack. Aleister Black extremely aggressive. Lands his strikes with precision. A former NXT champion for a reason. Now is looking to find success here on SmackDown. Oh, and there's that discus knee. Might have just rocked Trick Williams for good. And Trick able to kick out. And Trick Williams being put through the ringer. If he is somehow, someway able to survive Aleister Black, what is going to be left of Trick as this gauntlet match progresses? Aleister Black, I'm sure, is not putting Trick away in the time he would have liked. I'm sure this is going a little bit longer than Aleister Black so desires, but at least the positive spin Aleister can put on it, as he has been in control for the majority of this thing with Trick Williams. Of course, right as we say that, Trick Williams able to dodge. Big boot right on the crown. Aleister Black maybe out cold, not just yet. Trick catching Aleister Black with a big boot right across the mush. The same thing can be said as we said about Trick a couple of times. He would have been nearing a knockout blow. Aleister Black may be the one seeing stars in the middle of Philadelphia right now. Couple of shots in the corner by Trick, who is hell-bent on gaining another chance to become United States champion. That could come on Christmas night if he can somehow, someway survive this gauntlet. Aleister Black now is the one looking up at the lights, and there's a boot right to Trick. Trick Williams may be seeing stars, as we mentioned. Now there's a reversal by Trick. Oh, no, another reversal. These two men jockeying for positions. Pop-up Meteora. Well, Aleister Black wasn't about to get into a physical strike exchange. He ain't here for a test of wills. He's here to become United States champion. Aleister wanted Black Mass. Trick caught it. A well-timed precision reversal by Trick Williams. Trick shot. Trick shot. Landing that strike where it mattered most. And Trick Williams somehow survives Aleister Black. And here we go. The gauntlet progresses. Aleister Black has been eliminated, and now the Cardiac Kid, Wes Lee, a former Cruiserweight champion, is on the scene to take the fight to Trick Williams, and there he goes. And Trick Williams is going to be in for a run for his money tonight. We said Trick Williams has been in this position before, in a gauntlet matchup, one of the final SmackDowns of last year, where he nearly won the entire thing and eliminated the entire field, but coincidentally enough was defeated by the current United States champion, Austin Theory. Well, Trick Williams has got to be hoping and praying he can capture that same luck tonight and run the gauntlet and meet that man, Austin Theory, on the final SmackDown of 2025, but I don't know if he's going to have enough gas in the tank. Wes Lee now on the top rope. Frog splash. Call it a night. Oh, a kick out by Trick. Trick Williams still showing some signs of life. However, it's written all over the body language. The second Wes Lee hit the ring, he put his foot to the gas, 100 miles a minute. He knows Trick's hurt. Trick taking some damage. Oh! Hits the big boot on the Cardiac Kid. And nearly snuck away with another victory, but Wes Lee able to kick out. And Trick Williams realized the sense of urgency not only is kicking in, but it's going to have to stay in. Trick is going to strike with his best every chance he gets, and Wes Lee doing the same super kick, shooting star. And Trick able to kick out again. Maybe you gotta believe Wes Lee is just getting closer and closer to putting this thing away and moving on. Fresh legs coming in, picking the bones of a weakened individual. That is the nature of the gauntlet match. Wes Lee, of course, hot off the heels of a victory. The Bad Blood kickoff show a couple of weeks ago. For a man who was once his friend, once his partner, the young OG Javon Evans, who is still to come in this gauntlet. Wes Lee's able to survive, and the numbers fall as they may. Wes Lee and Javon Evans could be crossing paths yet again here on SmackDown. Well, Wes Lee off the reversal. Hold on here. Destroyer on Trick. And you gotta believe that's it. And another kick out by Trick Williams. Well, really, we shouldn't be surprised. What did we say earlier? Just when you think you got Trick down, this guy just knows how to rally. He knows how to rise. Trick Williams just hell-bent on getting back into the ring with Austin Theory and capturing the United States Championship. Able to reverse Wes Lee that time. Trick shot! Catching Wes Lee at a moment's notice. Into the cover goes Trick. He got him. Trick Williams wins another. Oh, man. Well, business pick it up here in Philadelphia. They've been partners, they've become friends, but now #1 contendership hangs between them. The Mad Dragon, Ilja Dragunov, back in the city where he made history earlier this year. And Ilja and Trick, if we know anything we should say about these two men, as much as they are partners at times, as much as they are friends, as much as they've had each other's back, put a championship opportunity between them, they ain't gonna hold any punches. Ilja Dragunov, the next contestant, if you will, in this Gauntlet matchup. And I don't know if Trick is going to have enough in him to keep down the man who is called the Mad Dragon for a reason. This man thrives off pain, thrives off punishment. He is not intense. He is simply the definition of intensity. Look at the deadlift into the German into the bridge. And Trick able to kick out. Well, Ilja Dragunov returning to Philadelphia tonight. The site of WrestleMania Saturday earlier this year, where he won the World Heavyweight Championship. Dragunov now with an opportunity to become #1 contender for the United States title. Suicide dive to the outside. This is also Ilja Dragunov's first time in action since his war with Finn Balor all the way back at the Bash in Berlin. Ilja rested, recuperated. First time he is legally in action. We've seen him in a couple of brawls since then. But Ilja ready for war tonight. And Trick Williams, gotta be wishing he was anywhere but the city of brotherly love right now. Yet another kick out by Trick. Even Ilja, I think, is thinking, man, just stay down. I don't want to hurt you, Trick. Well, Ilja and Trick, if they got to go through each other to meet Austin Theory for the United States title, so they must. And no matter who survives this matchup, there is still two more entrants to come. Trick taking a page out of the Hall of Famer Booker T's book. Ilja able to kick out. Big time bookend by Trick. Ilja Dragunov knocked down for the moment. We have seen Ilja go to absolute treacherous waters, championship rounds, lengths that not many men are willing to travel in this calendar year alone. I don't know if Trick's got enough in him to survive all that. He's got Ilja down, looking up at the lights of Xfinity Mobile Arena, at least for the second. The Trick has just got to keep his foot on the gas with everything he's got left in the tank. Go for the trick shot, go for the big boot, do anything you can to knock Ilja a little bit senseless, at least for a moment, and try to catch that pin. Oh, hold on here, reversal by Dragunov. And now the power bomb by Ilja. Incredible strength by the Tsar. Uh-oh. And an H-bomb. Ilja Dragunov going for the kill. Into the cover. Elimination. Well, a great effort by Trick here tonight. Great friends, respect between one another, but Ilja Dragunov doing what he's got to do. Trick Williams eliminated, and next up is the young OG, Javon Evans. Former Cruiserweight champion who has made waves here on SmackDown, going right for the Tsar, series of elbows. Javon Evans, who made his SmackDown debut in the first SmackDown of the season back in March, taking the fight to the man who was world champion at that time, and that's Ilja Dragunov. Javon looking to bounce back after falling short to Wes Lee a couple of weeks ago on the Bad Blood Kickoff show. There you see once more Austin Theory keeping a close eye on Javon Evans and the man who threatened that he was coming for the United States title, Ilja Dragunov. Dragunov in theory with history as well, but right now Dragunov keeping his focus on the young OG, and he is just unloading on this man. Javon Evans looks like he doesn't know what hit him. Well, Trick Williams, because of his lack of, I don't want to say lack of effort, but lack of what he had left, really didn't do too much of a number on Ilja Dragunov. Javon Evans may be the fresh man here, but he has got a hell of a way to go if he is going to keep down the Mad Dragon. Well, there's still one more man to come. We know who that'll be. Meanwhile, Javon Evans out of the corner. I miscalculated at that time. Usually goes for the arm drag, but such a precision move to try to hit. Able to recalibrate, however. Young OG just getting better and better, especially thinking on his feet in moments like that. And Javon Evans, it was a short-lived, but successful nonetheless, Cruiserweight Championship reign back in the summer. Javon has yet to meet Austin Theory here on SmackDown. Maybe their paths will cross for the first time ever on Christmas night. Ilja out of the corner. Evans on top. What's he going for here? Oh my goodness! It looked to be going for the 054. We saw that back at Bad Blood, but Ilja did his homework. And Ilja, such power in that frame. Incredible, well-timed reversal. Javon ate the canvas, and now Dragunov's on the attack. Unbazik bar written across the tights. Ilja believes in it. He believes he is invincible, and he believes there is nothing that can stop him inside of that ring. He has had a hell of a 2025 already. From Royal Rumble to WrestleMania to winning the world title. Maybe tonight is where he becomes #1 contender for the red, white, blue, and gold. Javon, however, with different plans. All right, I've seen enough. No matter who wins this contest between Javon and Ilja, please run it back in the near future. Javon Evans now bringing the fight to a former world's champion. Ilja Dragunov set into the far corner. Obviously, Evans' wheels are a-spinning. And I got a feeling their bodies are about to be as well. Springboard. Frankensteiner. Down goes Ilja. Back on top. Frog splash for the young OG. Cover by Evans. Ilja able to kick out. And for the first time, dare I say, Ilja Dragunov looks to be in trouble in this gauntlet matchup. Javon might not have gotten the 3 count, but he's got to keep his foot on the gas. Javon letting loose. Ilja Dragunov, however, able to sidestep. And a chop knocking Ilja, I should say knocking Javon off his feet. Goes to show you how much intensity was put behind that strike by the Mad Dragon. Javon Evans now able to reverse. Kick right to the gut of the Czar once more. Javon now, series of kicks. Ilja catches his, one of his own. Into the ropes. Constantine special. And the realist in the room is showing his heart. Ilja Dragunov with yet another precision strike. The Constantine special, but Javon Evans able to survive. Javon Evans, oh, nice sidestep that time. Right back into the corner. Oh, that's what he was looking for earlier. That arm drag into the drop kick. Beautifully executed. Ilja Dragunov sent for a loop. Javon Evans elects for the cutter. Dead center of the ring. Will that be all she wrote? Not just yet. And Austin Theory's got to be watching this right now, thinking I'm going to have to defend my championship against possibly one of these two men. Theory's defeated LA Knight. He's defeated Andrade, Aleister Black, Trick Williams, but he's yet to be in the ring with one of these two men with the titles on the line. Ilja pulls the rug out from underneath Javon, and he gets him. Oh, well, a quick pinfall by Ilja.
The next fall will win the match.
Ilja Dragunov survives, and now we are into the closing moments of this gauntlet. The King of Strong Style, Shinsuke Nakamura, your last entrant, and he targets Ilja with full force. Remember the story that opened us up tonight in Philadelphia. This spot originally belonged to the phenomenal AJ Styles, but AJ saying at this point in his career he has got one goal in mind, and that's getting back the world title that he held for mere minutes back at SummerSlam in August. AJ Styles gifting his spot in this gauntlet matchup to the man who put him to the limit last week, Shinsuke Nakamura. Nakamura graciously accepting, management deciding it was okay, and now it's Nakamura in the ring with Ilja Dragunov, who's going to become #1 contender for the United States title. Man, Ilja Dragunov as tough as they come, but I don't care who you are, I would not want to be a weakened competitor in the ring with a fresh Shinsuke Nakamura. Nakamura now hoisting Ilja up, and face first he goes. Remains to be seen if AJ Styles is going to get what he so desires, a future opportunity at the World Heavyweight title. We'll see who leaves New York City on Sunday holding that gold. But as for Shinsuke Nakamura, he could get what he wants here tonight in Philadelphia, and that's a matchup with Austin Theory 2 weeks from tonight. Ilja, however, to put the brakes on. If there's anybody who's going to be willing to throw strikes with the king of them, that's Ilja Dragunov. These two men have met once before, a couple of years ago during Ilja Dragunov's Intercontinental Championship reign on Monday Night Raw. Dragunov was the victor. Different circumstances. Ilja now fighting this matchup. Already a weakened man, but he ain't moving like one as a pair of boots into the ring, out of the ring, taking Nakamura down. They are down to 2 men in this gauntlet matchup, with the United States Champion Austin Theory looking on for the backstage area. One of these men meets Theory of the final SmackDown of this calendar year. Ilja off the STO, Nakamura running away to the corner. Oh, hold on here. Ilja Dragunov, I think we know what he's got in mind. The Mad Dragon is going for broke. Coast to coast, taking out Nakamura. That's gotta do it. And Shinsuke able to kick out. With all of his might, with all of his force, the Dragon flying high in the sky here in Philly from one post to the next. Unfortunately, not enough to put down Nakamura. And now Dragunov. Series of lariats in the corner. Ilja starting to rally here in the city of brotherly love. Oh, Nakamura nearly took Dragunov's head off. Oh, he got him with a second attempt. Nakamura miscalculated the first one. Did not make that same mistake twice. All of a sudden, Ilja's rally has been flushed down the drain, and it's Shinsuke Nakamura who is staring at a dragon that may be nearing getting slayed. Bizarre rolling away. Weakened, broken, battered in this contest. Defeated Trick Williams, defeated Javon Evans, now stands in the full force of Nakamura. Nakamura with Dragunov on his shoulders. Right into the Death Valley driver, sits out with it into the pin. And another kick out by Ilja. We have got a fight on hands here in Philadelphia tonight. 3 nights before Survivor Series. 3 nights before the action begins in New York City. Ilja Dragunov kicking out. But it's one thing to survive, it's a whole other thing to thrive. And right now he's far from it as his own momentum off the Irish whip sends him over the top rope. Well, if this is a battle royal, Nakamura would be your victor. But unfortunately for Shinsuke, he's got to find a way to pin the shoulders of Ilja inside of the ring. And a big-time knee might have just taken all the air out of the lungs of the Mad Dragon. Now Ilja set into the barrier. Shinsuke Nakamura finding out what many have in 2025 alone, and that's defeating Ilja Dragunov. It's a tough puzzle to figure out. There's a reason it's come far and few between. Oh, hold on here. Ilja catching Nakamura right at the right second. And the suplex down to the floor. That might have took just as much out of Ilja as it took out of Nakamura. Back inside of the ring. If Dragunov's going to capitalize, he's going to have to capitalize now. Look at the strength of the Zor. Nakamura down, at least for the moment. Ilja into the corner, loaded up for an H-bomb. Oh, Nakamura caught him. Reversal with the boot. Just when you thought the exclamation point was coming. Ilja Dragunov thought he had Nakamura done and put away. Big time counter from Shinsuke, who now hoists the Zor on the top. Ilja Dragunov, his best efforts may have been for nothing here. Uh-oh. Well, don't discount the Mad Dragon who shoved Shinsuke off the top. Now Ilja going back to the top himself and dropping that high elevation knee on Shinsuke. And Nakamura able to kick. Nakamura able to kick. And what a fight. Just between Nakamura and Ilja alone, but what a main event this has been. 6 men enter, only one of them's gonna leave. #1 contender. Series of strikes by Nakamura. Ilja caught him that time. And takes him off his feet once more. Nakamura in the drop zone. H-bomb by the Mad Dragon. Nakamura set for a loop. Ilja caught him with his best strike. And he got him. There's a reason they call this man invincible. Ilja Dragunov continues to prove that 2025 is the year of the Mad Dragon. From the Royal Rumble in January, from winning the World Heavyweight Championship right across the street here in Philadelphia back in March. An incredible reign for several months here on SmackDown with the gold. Went through a couple of hurdles, fell down a couple of times, but now the Zor rises again. Outlasting the Gauntlet, Ilja Dragunov, your #1 contender. And 2 weeks from tonight, on the final SmackDown of 2025, Christmas night, Ilja Dragunov will meet Austin Theory one-on-one for the red, white, blue, and gold, the United States Championship. A hell of a main event, live from Philadelphia, here on SmackDown.
Here is your winner,
Ilja Dragunov's name once again will be the headline. But all roads lead to this Sunday night, live at 5 p.m. Eastern Time from the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden, New York City. Survivor Series is on hand. We'll see you Sunday in the Big Apple.